Hey guys, welcome to another video, and we're back in DayZ. This is experimental 1.09. It's just gone live, and I wanted to have a look at some of the new design that they've incorporated. Firstly, they have changed up the cars. Apparently there are more looting spots on the cars. The designs have changed as well. You can see here the police car looks very different, much better finish on it. Apparently there are more looting spots on the cars, which we will soon find out. There's some ammo on this one. And probably the biggest thing that they've changed visually is reskinning of some of the houses. So we're going to have a look at that and see whether loot has changed as well. And just see if they have, after all this time, actually changed up the standard dwellings, the houses that you see around the map, and whether we have some variants. So far I haven't seen anything, but let's take a look. Okay, so it wasn't immediately obvious, but you can see here these two buildings now appear more grey. Used to be green or red, slight variance, and inside feels slightly different. All these doors closed off still. Hopefully they'll open those one day. And in here you have a different layout of furniture. It looks like someone's been here already. But so far not much. This doesn't really change things. I guess it makes it more of a lived-in space. There used to be a wardrobe here that was open, you could find loot in. Now that's just this closed one that's pretty useless really. And then you've got the one next door. Should be the same, I reckon. No, different, slightly different. We've got some loot there, raincoat, and this is the old one. Okay, so this is the old design. This one hasn't been changed. Again, I think this building shows it, that the reskinning, the textures have been changed. They're very subtle. Slight change of colour. You can see the roof here is different than before. We're not really talking about changing much here. And here's another example. Roof texture vastly improved. The house used to be much more colourful than this, but now you can see it's much dimmer, much more grey. Inside there seems to be a lot more stuff done here. Let's just make sure this zombie's not coming in. The doors themselves seem to have changed. We've got like a little workstation in here. Another fireplace. And the bedroom in here. This is a new bed. Haven't seen this before. New drawers potentially as well in the corner over there. New chairs. So they've definitely reskinned this. It also looks as if they've introduced a tighter brickwork. It's much nicer. It's got a better finish. They've added a few kind of smudges and whatnot, but it's pretty neat, I guess. They could have furnished up this space. I mean, these buildings here are good examples of how they've left furniture out on the original design, but they still haven't updated it. And we could have more in structures like this. They look good on the outside, but yet the inside is pretty poor already still. Got some more cars here. You can open the boot, you can see into the engine there. And you can take the hoods. There's more looting points. You can open the doors. You can see that there's a... You can take the door off there if you want to get your own car going. Interesting thing is, if you look at the police station, the way they've designed the outside, it's rough, beaten up, definite signs of the apocalypse, as is the interior. But the new buildings that they've reskinned, they're very clean and finished. There's a bit of discontinuity there, and It's a shame, really, that they didn't take this opportunity to create something that looked Apocalypse rather than new. And as much as the textures are lovely, maybe they don't really fit in. Maybe what we wanted to see, rather than new, neat rooms in the dwellings, is, you know, stuff that's been ransacked and damaged and warmed by the weather, because there's no central heating, so everything would be cold and damp, and things would be stained. It's a shame that they haven't incorporated that into the new design. Okay, it's getting a bit darker. This structure, again, smoother textures on the outside, I think. Slightly change of colour. Inside we've got a different looking room. They've laid it out differently, which is nice. Doesn't appear to be any new items of furniture. Maybe the books in this shelf are new, I don't know. And we have this building again, the yellow building, and a completely different layout. Got a desk in there and a rug underneath here. I think this rug is new. I think maybe there are some rugs around the place which are new. Okay, so as the light comes out, you can see the red and the green is now showing up more clearly on these buildings. Before it looked very grey, and I just wonder whether that's an effect they've added into the game to make the buildings look duller, if you like, in the low light. Which makes sense. So these buildings are the same colour, although it is a slightly diminished red with the reskinning, I think. Then we've got another car here. You can close the doors, take the doors. Another one over here. There's definitely not as much loot on cars, since you can actually access the engines and open up the interiors, which look really cool. There seems to be actual less loot on them, as if the spawning point has been taken up by the presence of the door being able to be detached, for example. So looking out across the police station here, there are two of those big buildings. So it seems like they've kept the green and the red. They've added in these kind of beigey coloured variants with different interiors into the plan, like a black and a beige one. So that there's an additional two houses, if you like, but very similar to the ones they've got already. And here's another variant. You can see this structure here. Usually green, slightly beige colour. And inside, a new layout, a new table in here. I guess one thing that these layouts do is you can get trapped. If a zombie comes in, you get trapped in this location here or here. You probably can just about squeeze by, but you might well take some hits. It's a layout, a different layout in here. Some bunks down there. Just, I guess they are trying to add some variety, but what we really want are some new building designs. That's what we really want. With different types of focus loot, that would be really cool. So, looking down on this village, you can actually see that very little has changed. And I guess it's really just a reskinning and kind of rearranging of furniture inside some of their buildings. It's not going to be the big change I hoped it would be, where we've got more variety with the buildings that we're encountering. So they're not all the same. The towns and the villages aren't all the same. It seems that that's pretty much going to be the way it always has been. Just I think maybe touching up the edges, and I would say, just to finish this off, that they could have made it more post-apocalyptic, more run down. Seems like an opportunity if they're reskinning, like you can see here, how neat this is. Would it be that way? Would we have some vegetation growing up the outside? I think that would probably be more immersive than just simply smartening them up, which is what they appear to have done. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I couldn't bring you more changes, but I think it's interesting nevertheless just to see what they're updating and how they're doing it, and it kind of gives us an idea, a bit of a mindset and where the developers are. Guys, so if you found this useful, click thumbs up. If you haven't subbed already, please do. There'll be more survival game content on the channel very soon. Thanks again. Take care.